Hi, my name's Trisha. I'm 42 years old. I'm from Delaware County, PA. More closer to Delaware. I lived in Delaware for a long time before I moved to PA. Originally born in Philly, though. Um, yeah, I got out here in Kensington for the first time back in 2011 when I started using heroin instead of pills. I started on pills when I was 21 years old. Thought that I could just do it like people drink alcohol because I'm not an alcohol drinker. I had a child at a very young age, and that was stressing me out, along with a boyfriend who groomed me probably from the age of 12 years old. He was like 20 something. But that is what led me to originally starting taking the pills so I could be alone and be by myself and not feel like I needed to have everything just felt better with the pills. I didn't have stress anymore. I didn't care about him anymore. My child didn't stress me out as much, and I thought I could keep a handle on it, and that's how it all started.
I'm sorry to hear that. You said you was 12 years old and he was grooming you and he was how old?
He was 21. Yeah.
Did he get in trouble?
No, my mother allowed me to date older men from that age with enough begging and stuff. And from that point on, I never dated a younger man my own age again.
I'm
I was
sorry.
with him for at least 5 years before we had our daughter. But he was just a bad guy. It took me until I was pregnant with her to realize that it wasn't just other people he was scamming and getting over on. It was also me cheating on me constantly and,
Well,
hiding things.
I'm sorry to hear that, but welcome to the channel.
Yeah, thank
And
you.
it's a pleasure to have you here to be able to talk to you.
I appreciate the opportunity to get, a legitimate story out there, not just having me laying on the ground knocked out and people don't know what is the reason behind that. A lot of people have many struggles and trauma that gets them where they're at.
Could you speak up just a little bit?
I said a lot of people have struggles and trauma that gets them where they're at. They're not born, saying they wanted to be an addict, that they wanted to do dope. I really never thought that I would touch dope. It was the pills that started me with the opiate problem. I didn't even realize that you could get sick on them, and it was the fear of losing my children that actually drove me to keep on the pills so I wouldn't miss a day of work. And, so I had all intentions that were good, but eventually it broke me.
Well, it's okay because you look strong. You're a strong woman. You could.
Yeah, I've been fighting the struggle. I mean, I've been to like 14 treatments. It's not because I don't want to be clean. It's because I do want to be clean. It's just a hard struggle once you have that demon in your body. It's really hard to not feel like normal again. You don't feel normal when you're sober anymore after doing it for so long.
And when the last time you been in treatment?
I actually went 7 months ago, and I ended up completing treatment. I was clean for 7 months. I just started dabbling, I guess, in hard, thinking that I could just do that here and there because I wanted something. Because like I said, I haven't been able to conform to society with the way that they are accepting of other people. I just don't feel like I'm that way. I have major background troubles, past experiences because of using, and because of that, I feel like there's no way that I can be accepted anymore on that side of society.
And well, how long ago have it been since you relapsed?
10 days.
10 days
Yeah.
ago.
Well, since I started doing the heroin with the cocaine, I was, here and there using since about 2 months ago with the hard. But the struggle, with the horrible like issue with the opiates started again 10 days.
Yeah, it's pretty rough, right?
Definitely is, yeah. Especially with the way that I don't know where they got these drugs that they're putting out there, but they're not even what they're supposed to be anymore. I've seen people lose arms, legs. You pass out, you get robbed every time, or somebody abuses you because they know that's the situation you're in. The trank actually makes you almost stroke. I went blindfolded for 8 days, coming off of a detox and was in ICU. So I'm just afraid to like go through that struggle again.
Wow. Wow. Well, you can still beat it though. You
Yeah, I
know,
will. I have faith in that. I just have to put my foot down and stop.
and
It's
since
already, I'm already ready to like take that next step again. It's just hard to deal with the issues that you have when you don't really even know what they are anymore.
and how many bags a day would you say you've been using since you started again?
I would say like three, but I do the cocaine with it, so I'd probably do like five or six of them, maybe even more. I do a lot more of that, trying to counteract like having the dope in my system, like trying not to have the withdrawal be that bad because I don't want to go through that anymore again.
How bad is the withdrawal for you?
It's really bad. Like from the point that you come 5, 6 hours out from using, you need something else, or you're just going to start throwing up consistently. At least for like 48 to 72 hours, your blood pressure shoots up so hard. I've had it be 240 over 160 at one point. I know this is something that I couldn't do at home, so it automatically makes me go to the hospital where I don't necessarily feel like they want to deal with us because a lot of people don't go through with the whole thing because it's so traumatic.
So between the fentanyl, and the coke, how much would you say you spend a day?
Probably close to $100 now that I've been staying out here, and there's nothing else for me to do because I'm jumping from place to place.
And how do you support your habit?
I do all kinds of stuff. I sometimes sell prescriptions. I middleman things. I did have cash apps, so I would do cash apps for people. I do dates when I need to. Um, that's something that I was introduced to, and it's the only thing that I felt like you can do out here and not be stealing from people and doing more worse things. I felt like
And that's what you was introduced in your childhood.
I actually was introduced when I first started using heroin when I was 28 years old, and was kind of like oblivious to. I was oblivious to what was about to happen, but then when I, had that moment, I just thought it could be one person and not keep on going with other men. But it only took so long before that man wasn't available, and it just persisted.
Well, you worth more than that. You're a beautiful woman. You so much worth more than that.
Yeah, and if I could just get a job like, a normal person and they would just give me a chance, I feel like I wouldn't have relapsed. But I went 7 months, I couldn't even get a job with Panera Bread. That really messed me up because I've had a work history. It just has been so long since worked, and then my background check comes back. And they automatically see I had an overdose case that somebody had passed away, and they see that, and like
I'm sorry, I can't hear you.
I had a case that a friend of mine overdosed when I wasn't there, but I had gotten him his drugs, and so I have that on my record as well as like a felony possession with intent. So it's hard for me to get a job.
And he passed away.
Yes, it was back in 2017.
Was he a,
Um,
was he a good friend?
he was more like a running buddy. It wasn't like we got to be really good friends because when you're out there, it's more or less just a ends to a means. You don't get to be close with anybody because you can't trust anybody. But I do feel horrible about it, and it definitely could have been me too because we shared the same drugs. It was just that, I got lucky.
Well, rest in peace to him.
Yes,
Do you ever think about that situation?
of course I do. After I was done with all that, I had to put myself in a religious program because I needed to know from God that I wasn't really a murderer.
What's your religion? Amen.
I'm Christian. I believe in Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior. I know He saved me a million times out here.
And Christ, he helps you, don't he?
Yes, He does, but you have to be willing to conform to all the things that He wants you to do, and it's really hard to change everything about yourself just in a blink of an eye like that. And you get lonely.
So, what would it take for you to decide to go back to rehab, to get clean again? What
I
you
was
think it would
actually
take?
talking to some people with the church today, and it's going to happen within the next couple of days. I was just really sick today and throwing up and everything, so I just wanted to get well, and it got too late in the day, so I plan on going there hopefully tomorrow morning and, doing what I need to do.
Do you have children?
Yeah, I have a 25-year-old daughter. And I have a 18-year-old daughter that I haven't raised out. I don't really know her, you know what I mean? I gave her up because I traumatized my older child, and I didn't want to do that to her. Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay, love. We human. We have, feelings.
Yeah. The part of getting high so you don't have to feel anymore.
And don't. And if you do, go to back to rehab and get
Oh,
clean again.
well, because I have to. I'm definitely not willing to, beat this down and, it's either death or go to rehab and get my life together.
Well, what you gonna do differently when you come out and people don't at first want to offer you, the job because your record, but if you stick with it, something will open up for you, But
That's
what
what
would
I
you
have to
do?
believe, I have to believe that. I have to be more willing to ask somebody for help and, make different friends so I won't be lonely. I might even have to go to like a recovery house afterwards because me by myself is not a healthy thing. And that's a big step for me to do because I feel like what type of life are you living if you're just going by a structured detail of somebody else's plans for you? So that's like a
Right.
big
And
thing.
see, we all need help. So it's okay to reach out for help, especially when you're trying to do something positive with yourself.
And so yeah,
So
just
when you sober, what's some of the things you like doing? What's some things you passionate about?
I actually just spend a lot of time binge watching YouTube and Netflix and stuff. I stay home. I have a niece that lives with us, and I take care of her with my mother. It's just that's about it. And I don't really have anything else going on. Not having a car, not being able to talk to old friends. I'm pretty much secluded in my house, and that's part of the problem.
It's okay, soccer mom or home mom is better than,
Yeah,
being out here in Kensington.
yeah. It's just my
Yeah.
mind tricks me into thinking that I can do it, here and there, and still get that relief from the drug, the feeling, and then still not get myself hooked somehow.
So when you came back this time, you just thought, you'll do something a little differently and you won't get caught in.
And I did for the first week or two, but then eventually, them days added up, and then I was scared to leave.
Well, you can't be scared. You gotta face your fears.
I know, yeah, I know.
And
Well, there's nothing I should be scared of because out here I face pretty much anything that could happen. And not even just here, but throughout my whole addiction. Like, there's nothing to be scared of, but other than the fact that I just need to know which way I need to go with my sobriety as far as anything, career wise, relationship wise, friend wise, just getting through that first hurdle.
you got the best friend, God.
Yeah, I know, but it's not the same as having a friend that I can call up and talk to and be, responded to immediately the way that a physical friend's going to be. God will show me signs and lead me in the right direction as far as, my conscience, my intuition.
Well, I believe this time you going to get it right because you had awareness to it. You had awareness what you need.
Yep. And that's what I just need to do is continue to be aware and, not get myself in the
So
shithole again.
more so like a sponsor, need a sponsor.
Yeah. Not just a sponsor, but just I guess I need to do some type of meetings or something, which I really hate because it's so cliche. And, I feel like it's a bitch fest in some ways. And I just don't see the point sometimes, but I guess it's to make those connections that you need a friend. So I guess that's what I'm going to have to really focus on.
Well, for the people who's watching this video, if they wanted to reach out and help you, how can they reach out and contact you or help you?
I have a Gmail account, trishcloud1@gmail.com. I ask that you not reach out to me for any vulgar things or, down talking. I don't have time for that.
Okay. Well, y'all heard her. Yeah, y'all want to reach out to her, on a positive note. The sister is willing to reach back out. And what is it again?
TrishCloud1@gmail.com.
Okay, well, I hear that. And if your family members was watching this, what would you want to say to them?
I'm sorry I haven't called you. I will though, and at least been in contact with Joe, so you know what's going on. You know me, and you know that there's no point of me calling until I'm ready, and you know that I'll get the help I need. I love you.
Well, thank you. And like I said, I'm gonna keep you in my prayers, and so with the other people, that's rooting for you also.
I appreciate that. More prayer, the better.
And thank you for coming and sharing your awareness and having this conversation with me. And before I end this video, is there anything else you would like to add?
No, really. I guess do not judge unless you be judged first, because you never know what somebody's going through.
All right, thank you.
You're welcome.
And you have a blessed night.
You too.